Okay, I'll call the special regional council meeting to order. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and streamed on a publicly accessible website. And as well, please respect the social distancing during the COVID-19 pandemic. Can I get a motion, please, to adopt the agenda? Moved by Councillor Souls, seconded by Councillor Gerwing. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Carried. Public attendance at council meetings for discussion. Mr. Coupe.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is just a bit of a holdover from the provincial orders that were discussed at the last meeting. We realized after the meeting we didn't actually get a resolution of council to, if council wished to not allow members of the public into the building. The orders allow us to do that now, and for safety it's recommended. But because the way the order is worded, it says councils may, a resolution of council is recommended.
I'd make that motion that way. Stop people from coming in and attend the meetings publicly.
Well, I think we are live streaming the meetings anyway, and anyone who's interested in seeing the what is discussed at public meetings, I think they're available to do that. Can I get a seconder for Councillor Penny's motion then?
I'll second Councillor Andrews.
Okay, I think we've got a seconder from Councillor Dolan. Thank you. Just announce your name before you second the motion, just so for our records, please. All those in favor?
Aye.
Councillor, go ahead. From
Councillor Gerwing, I totally did not hear any of that. I had to hang up and call back in. I completely lost all audio. So could somebody just read me the motion, please?
Go ahead, Mr. Coupe.
Oh, so the motion was that the public not be permitted to attend council meetings in person as per the provincial government's order. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm in favor.
Very well. That motion carries. Coronavirus update, Mr. Barry.
Thank you, Mayor. As I'm sure you are aware, nothing's changed. We continue to be quite busy. Continue to work on the various orders and requests that were handed down by the province. Included in that order, and that is we're still working our business continuity planning, which is very important to provide it, required to provide that information back to the province so we can continue to provide services and have plans in place if issues would arise locally. As we receive information, we continue to receive a lot of information. We continue to share that out to our various means. Specifically, one area, of course, is on our website. We've done some changes or improvements, I guess, to try to organize some of the information on the webpage here late last week. And what we're going to possibly do is, by the end of the week here, is we'll probably run council through that webpage to kind of give the tour of the page and what the information, where it's housed, where a lot of information is coming to council, a lot of questions are being asked of council. And a lot of the questions that are being asked are actually on the webpage that you can guide some of the residents to specific areas in terms of questions they might have. If it's typically, obviously, local issues, information from the province, and of course, federal information. A lot of questions coming in specific, for example, to some of the federal compensation packages that are out there as an example. So we'll probably give it the nickel and dime tour sometime this week, and then the thought is once I get into some more information later in the update here regarding some opportunities for different meeting practices outside of streaming, there might be an opportunity to share some of that stuff to the community in terms of how to navigate to the web page and where information is. So we're working with that. Continue with the community outreach and the business outreach process. So Krista Pearson is doing a lot of community outreach, and then Krista Vanderstein from the business outreach perspective to assist any residents or businesses out there in terms of any questions they may have. Again, directing them or help and provide information or give assistance as required. We have an updated org chart for the EOC that isn't quite ready yet. I'll be honest with you, we're on meetings and calls all morning, so myself and Aaron haven't had a chance to give it the last polishing that's required before we pass it on to council and get it posted. So as per my update last Friday, we continue to man up or staff up the EOC as required to try to stay ahead of all the information and of course the workload that's occurring. EOC director, of course, is Aaron. The deputy EOC director is Ryan. So we've pulled Ryan to assist there to ensure we have some backup capacity for Aaron. EOC unit support and media monitoring, of course, is Valerie, and councils start seeing those. Ask Valerie to share those updates, the information for council in terms of the various information that's provided daily through either press releases or conferences that are done federally or provincially. Safety and risk management is Stacey Aspen, and again, remember this. We'll have the information provided as we'll provide the org chart for council. So Stacey Aspen is safety and risk management. Safety and compliance is Sean O'Shaughnessy to assist Stacey. Number of our safe operating procedures are required, either updating specific to what we're currently doing, which also includes any working remotely processes, working alone, and also new things like social distancing and business continuity in regards to what are we currently doing to ensure that we don't have that we can continue to provide services, but we don't put the employees at risk. So examples, public works are traveling in separate vehicles. Plow trucks are only utilized by a specific employee. We have processes in place to ensure sanitation, et cetera, et cetera. So those are the things that they're working on. From the information and communication process, Jaylene is looking after that, heading up that end. Under her would be website and social media, which of course is Leonora, which is quite busy at continuing to update the website and social media. And additionally, the updates or the cleanup of the page here that occurred last week. Community outreach, of course, is Krista Pearson, as I mentioned, and then business outreach, community outreach from residents and various nonprofits would be Krista Pearson, and community outreach from a business perspective is Krista Vandersteen right now. In terms of the EOC itself, in regards to the different areas of the EOC's operations would be Luann Watson with, of course, Fire Chief Childs. In that area, logistics is Harvey Woodland, with IT support from Rob Blaine currently in terms of the IT end. Planning would be Jaylene with Richard. And then finance side would be the treasurer, which Tony is working remotely, but she's in that role. So, and assisting her is the deputy treasurer. On the finance side, what we do, of course, is areas where we would potentially incur costs. We present information to the province to look at reimbursement for certain things where we have costs that are being absorbed by the municipality that we wouldn't typically absorb, and there's some guidelines, et cetera, but that's what the finance person does in part in regards to the EOC. Currently, the EOC is still at a level 1, but as I mentioned, we've staffed up accordingly, and we're just going to monitor the situation as we proceed. Continuing with the emergency services, the local emergency services, so we met with them this morning. So RCMP, the hospital, Northern Rockies Fire Rescue, BCAS, and of course myself and Aaron and Ryan from the EOC perspective with the Northern Rockies Municipality. There was Northern Health provided some information packages, brochures, some specific from Northern Health, others from the BC Centre of Disease Control. We haven't had an opportunity to link any of the information, but we're going to work at either confirming that if we don't have it currently on the website, we'll get that link to the website. Some of it was some common questions and FAQs. And then Northern Health has also launched a COVID-19 online clinic and information line to help answer any questions and concerns from the Northern BC residents. There's a 1-844 number. That's 1-844-645-7811. Again, you don't have to remember that. We'll get the information out there. Of course, it'll be on the Northern Health website also. That particular service has been launched, so residents have access to information, health advice, and an online clinic. It's staffed by nurses, physicians, and nurse practitioners, and this is in addition to the 811 number, and just provides another option and opportunity for residents to call and get information. Northern Rockies Fire Rescue, just as you know, have been doing some fit testing for the various agencies in town. So RCMP in the hospital, that's regarding N95 mask fitments. So working with that. In regards to the company and the flying flower and some of the questions that were asked by council and requests that went out to the various companies, we're just starting to see some information come in now. We're gathering that information, a lot of information. It's basically the emergency response plans from the various organizations of what they're doing for their transient employees. So we're just pulling out the information now, and we'll have some further information for council later. Richard's pulling that together currently. Additionally, the province has released information regarding guidance that they've provided to industrial camps during COVID-19. That link is either on or will be going on our website. Again, we just received that this morning. The rec facility annual maintenance is just about complete and should be completed this week. A little bit longer than we typically would take, just because we don't have the same crew capacity that we would typically have going to that, so it's been stretched a bit longer, but that should be wrapped up by the end of this week. We're looking at a different platform to assist council with meetings, understanding some of the challenges that we have with the dialing meetings currently. So what I'll be doing is connecting with you individually and then as a group to have some informal discussion to test out the Zoom platform, which would allow video conferencing, which essentially would enable us to do virtual meetings if there was no counselors here whatsoever, and counselors would be able to at least see each other face to face, and we could still record the meeting and upload it for people to for the residents to be able to view. So hopefully by the end of this week, I'll have those discussions with the counselors, do some tests, do some little informal Zoom meetings so they understand how easy it is to utilize, and then potentially look at changing the current process that we have as obviously the council attendance is starting to dwindle with in person and people are utilizing the dial-in option. So stay tuned for that, and I'll contact the individual there. And I believe that's it for now. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. If not, I'll find an answer. Try to find them.
I don't have any questions, but I do know that when we're talking about Zoom and other telecommunications tools, it's not just the Northern Rockies that's having difficulty. I was speaking to my son in California. Every company down there is having trouble with accessing online just because of the usage. I think the information on our website is great. That's where I direct people when they have questions for us. We're starting to get more and more questions about business, assistance for business, and that will come from the federal and provincial government. Okay, are there any other questions or any other comments by councillors? Okay, hearing none. I'm going to ask for a resolution to move to a closed meeting. Moved by Councillor Soul, seconded by Councillor Penny. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
And we are in a closed meeting. Thank you.